Yo, what's up guys, my name is Zach. Hope you're all having a fantastic day and welcome to the day 162 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season, where we talk about everything that went down in the NBA from the previous day. That being said, we do have a lot to talk about today, so let the day 162 recap begin. There are certain unwritten rules in the game of basketball. Certain things that teams or players do as a sign of respect to the team or players that they are playing against. And one of those things is that when the game is decided and the clock is running out, even if it means taking a 24-second violation, you do not shoot the ball. You dribble out the clock, you give dap to the players from the other team, and then you are on your way. That's how it goes, or it's supposed to go. But yesterday, actually it happened Monday as well. Things didn't go so smoothly. First off, Monday, there was the incident with JaVale McGee. When the game was already decided, the Warriors up a bunch. The final seconds, JaVale McGee decides that he's going to get in some early practice for next year's three-point contest as he jacks up a three. Brandon Jennings wasn't taking it, so he pushes JaVale McGee on the shot, which then Brandon Jennings receives a flagrant foul. And then he and some of the other Wizards players called it disrespectful after the game.
It was very disrespectful. Thank God he didn't go to the rack. Probably would have been worse for him. But you know, a time like that, you know, I think you should just let the let the clock run out. I think it was already disrespectful that, you know, they were trying to get Draymond Green a triple-double. Steph was out there with 40, so I just felt it was disrespectful.
And yesterday, Lance Stephenson must have thought it was a good idea for him to try a similar thing. As with the Pacers about to win the game in the final seconds, Lance decides he's going to practice for the layup contest in next year's All-Star game.
Stevenson's going to lay it in. Yeah, that's not quite frankly. You know, you can take it or leave it. And see, they get into it because they think it's a real chump move that he tried to take the ball and made the shot. See, that one Lance has got to know. You back that off. You can see that one coming. The shot, you're at the end of the game. They get the ball. He needs to dribble that one out. And P.J. Tucker's about to get himself in all kind of trouble for that, because he won't go away. But it started when Lance made the shot right away. DeMar Rosen and P.J. Tucker.
You know, DeRozan, Tucker, and Carroll just weren't having it. They wanted to know exactly how they felt about Lance being Lance. And it wasn't just on the court either. You know, they felt disrespected by that. And P.J. Tucker made sure Lance Stephenson knew after the game.
Nobody care about his reputation. I care less. I don't even know who he is. He just maybe happy he just got back in the league. I don't know what he's so hype about, but it don't matter. It's a way to win, it's a way to lose, and that ain't the way you win.
And you know, Lance, after that, he actually did the right thing in his post-game interview as he apologized to the Toronto Raptors for what he did.
No, I wasn't surprised. I was caught in the moment. I just want to say sorry to them. I didn't mean no harm. I mean, the crowd was cheering me on, and I just wanted to do it for the fans. But I just want to say sorry, and I didn't mean no hard feelings.
Lance is a very unique individual. You know, he's the guy that blew into LeBron James' ear. He has certain dances or celebrations after he makes shots. You know, he's not afraid to be Lance. But at the end of the day, he recognized what he did wrong and he manned up to it, which is a good thing. Which is going to lead us to the question of the day. Do you guys think it's disrespectful to score when the game is already decided? I mean, to me, it's kind of like adding insult to injury. I mean, you're already up by a bunch and then you're gonna score again. It's kind of like running up the score on your opponents, which is disrespectful. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. But speaking of your comments, we're going to go back to the regular format where I look at some of your comments from yesterday's video, since a lot of you guys wanted to keep it like that. So yesterday, after the Magic leaked some of their offseason targets on a whiteboard, I simply asked you guys if you had any idea what the Magic were doing, and most of you had no clue. Actually, the comment section turned into more of a roasting section than anything for the Orlando Magic. So if you are a Magic fan, you might want to skip this part of the video. OVO Mississippi says, what the Magic did is a brief description of their franchise. Jim V15 says, if my team did what the Magic did, I would lose faith in life. How stupid can you be? I honestly wouldn't be able to defend my team either. How could you defend your team writing their free agent plans on a freaking whiteboard? Idris Birch says the Magic are one of the most dysfunctional franchises in the NBA. They make the Sixers and even the Kings look great in comparison. And as sad as that is, I would say the Kings and the Sixers are both in a better position than the Magic are right now, simply because they have a direction. No one knows what the Magic are doing. At least we know the Kings and the Sixers are trying to rebuild, but the Magic, no one knows what they're trying to do. And that's it for that portion of the video. Leave your replies to today's question down in the comment section below. But now let's hop over into the games from last night. The Pacers came into this one as one of the 4 teams fighting to get either the 7th or 8th seed in the playoffs. And when the game started, they were on the outside looking in as the 9th seed. And in the first half, it seemed like it would remain that way after the game, as the Raptors were really able to have their way with Indiana, leading by 11 at the break. Then, just like in the game against Cleveland, the Pacers woke up and fought back in the second half, including hitting 9 of their 13 3-point attempts in that half, on their way to a 108-90 win. Paul George was huge once again for Indy with 35 points and 10 rebounds, and Lance Stephenson played in his first game back in front of the home crowd and had 12 points off the bench. DeMar DeRozan scored 27 for Toronto. With a triple-double in this one, Russell Westbrook could tie the Big O for most triple-doubles in NBA history. And it wasn't the prettiest or the most flashiest, but yes, he did it. We have just witnessed something that hasn't been done in over 50 years. With his 12 points, 13 rebounds, and 13 assists in only 27 minutes, by the way, Russell Westbrook has tied Oscar Robertson for the most triple-doubles in NBA history with 5 games left to play in the season. It's safe to say that Westbrook will most likely get at least one more triple-double and break that tie. And the Thunder get the 110-79 win over the Bucks as well. Other than Westbrook, Cantor had 17 off the bench, and Ebrini's was feeling it, hitting 4 of 6 3-point attempts before having to leave the game after a collision with Chris Middleton. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 11 points and 10 rebounds for the Bucks. Come on, Cavs, didn't anyone ever tell you guys that it's not polite to play with your food? You guys really let Orlando think that they had a chance in the first half when they were up by 2 at the break, only to torch them in the third quarter by hitting 6 of your first 7 3-point attempts, and also becoming only the 3rd team in NBA history to hit 1,000 threes in a single season. The other 2, of course, being this year's Rockets and last year's Warriors. The Cavs scored 43 points in their hot third quarter and got the 122-102 win. LeBron James with his 2nd straight triple-double of 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists, and Love, Kyrie, and JR all played well too. Love with 28 points and 11 rebounds, Kyrie Irving had 24 points and 8 assists, while JR had 19 points on 7 of 11 shooting. Evan Fournier had 21 for the Magic. Make that 12 in a row for Golden State as they get ready for the return of KD this weekend. And last time it was Steph who was the star, but this time it was the other one, as Klay Thompson goes off for 41 points, including hitting 7 of his 14 3-point attempts, his 10th 40th point game of his career. 121-107 was the final score. With Klay on fire, everyone else for the Warriors, just kind of kicked back and chilled. Steph had 19 points and 9 assists, and Iguodala had 11 off their bench. On the other hand, after beating the Blazers last night, the Wolves simply couldn't keep up in this one. Wiggins and Muhammad each had 24, and Towns scored 21. After missing his previous 5 games, Marc Gasol decided to return to face his brother and the San Antonio Spurs last night, and the Grizzlies gave San Antonio just about everything they could handle in this one. It took the Spurs making a late 4th quarter rally to force overtime to eke out the 95-89 win. And for any of you that think Kawhi Leonard isn't human, here is some proof. This man has a head made of pure metal, and Mike Conley learned that the hard way, as in the 4th, Conley used headbutt on Kawhi Leonard, but it was hit with some serious recoil and busted his eyelid open and will leave the game to get stitches since it would not stop bleeding. Conley had 19 points and 6 assists before his exit, while Kawhi Leonard had 32 rebounds and 12 points for the Spurs. For just about any other team in the league other than the Sixers, who are most likely happy that they lost as it gives them a better chance at landing that #1 draft pick, this probably would have been one of the worst losses in franchise history, as Brooklyn somehow drops 141 points on the Sixers, while the Sixers only score 118. Yep, a 141-118 blowout over Philly gives the Nets their 3rd straight win. Everyone aboard the bandwagon while you can. This team is taking off. 8 players for the Nets score in double digits. Brooke and Lynn chip in 18, while Archie Goodwin and KJ McDaniels each score 14 off the bench. Timothy Vegeta Kakarot had 19 for Philly. The Nuggets still fighting for their playoff lives, and in order to make it, they have to play near perfect basketball the rest of the way. As for the Pelicans, They had to play perfect basketball for the rest of the way and hope that Portland and Denver completely fell off as they wanted to have any chance of landing the A seed. And that didn't happen, as with the 134-131 loss, New Orleans has officially been eliminated from playoff contention. And it was thanks to some sloppy play down the stretch on Drew Holiday's part at the end, as the Pelicans had 2 chances in the final seconds to either tie or take the lead, but both chances resulted in turnovers. Danilo Gallinari scored 28, Gary Harris had 23, and Jokic had 21 points and 12 rebounds for the Nuggets, while Cousins and Davis dominated as usual for the Pelicans. Cousins with 30 points and 14 rebounds and 9 assists, while Davis scored 41. A couple of games ago, it seemed so easy. Just win 3 more games and we'll be good, is what Portland fans were saying to themselves. And with the Nuggets winning last night, the just win 3 more games mindset still holds true. And after coming off a tough loss to the Wolves, to be honest, it just seemed like the Blazers had nothing left to give, as they couldn't get any type of offense going against Utah's defense. However, this was a must win for the Jazz too, as they looked to hold on to their 4th seed standing out west. And the Jazz did get a pretty easy 106-87 win, and it was thanks to great performances from both Gordon Hayward and his 30 points, as well as Rudy Gobert and his 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks. CJ McCollum had 25 for Portland. The Bulls are also one of the 4 teams that are looking to clinch one of the last 2 spots in the Eastern Conference playoffs, and luckily for them, they just had a bit of wiggle room for a game like this, as they were the 7th seed coming into this one. And I said luckily for them because due to a poor first half defensively against the banged up Knicks, who got Melo back but lost Porzingis, the Bulls wound up losing 100-91. Melo didn't shoot the ball particularly well for New York, only 9 of 25 from the field for 23 points, but hey, it got them the win. Meanwhile for Chicago, Jimmy Butler scored 26 and Nikola Mirotic had another good game with 21 points and 10 rebounds. The Hornets, another team fighting for the 8th seed in the East, and this is a team that has the toughest road to make it, but they have been playing really good basketball over the past few games, so it wasn't out of the question. And the Wizards haven't been playing the best defense as of late, so this was a huge opportunity for Charlotte. And in the first half, everything was going just fine for the Hornets as they had a 12-point halftime lead. Then things took a turn for the worst in the 3rd quarter as the Wizards, or more specifically John Wall, simply wasn't taking another loss, as he scored 14 points and dished out 6 dimes in the 3rd to lead Washington to the 118-111 win. Wall finished with 23 points, 13 assists, and 6 steals, while Oubre and Smith were both big off the bench. Smith hitting a career-high 5 threes for 17 points, and Oubre added 15. Kemba Walker did all he could for the Hornets though, as he scored 37. The Kings decided to rest just about all of their veterans as they prepare for their deep playoff run and simply let the young guys play last night. And the Mavs decided to do the same with Dirk, Matthews, and Curry all sitting out. You know, low-key, I think both of these teams were just aiming to lose this game so they could get the best lottery pick available, since coming into this game, they were pretty much neck and neck in the standings. And the winners, or the losers, however you want to look at it, will be the Sacramento Kings as they come away with a 98-87 win. Ben McLemore with 22 off the bench, while Hield scores 16 and Cauley Stein has 12 points and 16 rebounds. And Nicholas Brusino at 13 for Dallas. And that about wraps up all the action for the day 162 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season. And now it's time to get into the player of the day. Yesterday, you guys trolled heavily by selecting Jordan Hill and his DNPD as the player of the day, and here are today's nominees. You have John Wall and his 23 points, 13 assists, and 6 steals. Paul George and his 35 points and 10 rebounds. LeBron James and his 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. Russell Westbrook and his 12 points, 13 assists, and 13 rebounds. Kawhi Leonard and his 32 points and 12 rebounds. Klay Thompson and his 41 points, Gordon Hayward and his 30 points and 4 rebounds, or Danilo Gallinari and his 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. You guys can go vote for the player of the day right now by following the straw poll link down in the description box below. But other than that, thank you once again for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on it and subscribe if you haven't already for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team STC, and I'm out of here. Peace!